10 astonishing facts about Chichen Itza, wonder of the world. Once a thriving Maya city, Chichen Itza was home to brilliant advances in water preservation, architecture, and astronomy. Despite its military strength and impressive pyramids, this magnificent city faced a sudden downfall. Join us as we uncover 10 intriguing facts about it. Number 10. The rise of a new civilization. From 40,000 to 20,000 BCE, ancient travelers crossed over a land bridge between modern-day Alaska and Siberia, making their way into North America. They moved southward, drawn by warmer climates, better hunting grounds, and abundant plant life, settling in the Yucatan Peninsula of modern Mexico around 10,000 to 8,000 BCE. The Maya people established themselves in this resource-rich region, filled with obsidian, jade, and plenty of fish. By 6000 BCE, agriculture took root, producing a large food surplus and driving population growth. By 1500 BCE, small farming villages were thriving, eventually evolving into chiefdoms and early Mayan states, centered around the cultivation of maize, beans, and squash. They mastered farming techniques like irrigation and terracing to sustain their growing communities. But the Maya were not alone. They coexisted with the Olmecs, who are often called the first mother culture of present-day Mexico, and who laid the groundwork for future Mesoamerican civilizations. Number 9. The story behind Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza, a complex of Mayan ruins, sits at the heart of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The site is one of the new 7 wonders of the world, and for good reason. This ancient city was the epicenter of Mesoamerican civilization, and its name says it all. Chichen Itza translates to "at the mouth of the well of the Itza," named after the geological feature of the area and the Maya tribe that settled there. The site is dotted with cenotes, natural wells that formed when limestone surfaces collapsed, exposing the water beneath. As you explore Chichen Itza, you'll come across some incredible structures. Take the El Caracol, a round-shaped observatory that was specifically designed to track the movements of planets and the Sun. And then there's the iconic Pyramid of Kukulkan, with its 365 steps, 91 on each side and one at the top. This ancient calendar in disguise was used to determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops, with each side representing a different season. But Chichen Itza wasn't always a Maya stronghold. According to National Geographic and other sources, the Toltecs invaded the city in the 10th century, leaving their mark on the architecture. The Temple of Kukulkan, built after the invasion, shows a strong central Mexican influence. In fact, experts believe that many of Chichen Itza's most iconic monuments, including the Pyramid of Kukulkan, the Temple of Warriors, and the Great Ball Court, may have been built or rebuilt by the Toltecs due to their distinctive style. Number 8. Ancient aliens. The ancient Mayan civilization is still a huge mystery to archaeologists, and new discoveries only add to the puzzle. Their obsession with the stars and their super-accurate calendar system leave us wondering, how on earth did they come up with this stuff? To get to the bottom of it, we need to look at what the Mayans believed in. According to Mayan legends, their supreme deity was Quetzalcoatl, a winged snake who came from the sky and taught them about astronomy, architecture, and building. This feathered snake god promised to return to Earth, with some calculations pointing to December 21st, 2012, a date that sparked both excitement and fear. There's a possibility we got the math wrong. The Mayans' descriptions of things they saw in the sky, like a flying snake, might have been more than just fantasy. Could they have been talking about aliens? It's an interesting idea, especially when you look at the tomb of Pakal, one of the last Mayan rulers. The discovery of a carving in Palenque depicting the ruler Pakal seemingly controlling a machine with flames and smoke raises more questions. The inscriptions around the tomb suggest he was blasting off into space. The weird thing is, that Pakal's body was found in a coffin, and he was way taller than the average Mayan, with a bizarre bone structure. It's possible that aliens visited the Mayans and taught them a thing or two. We can't say for sure, but it's an interesting possibility. Number 7. The Deadly Mayan Olympics. In the mid-1930s, an expedition uncovered a hidden axis inside the pyramid at Chichen Itza, leading to a temple beneath the one at the top. Inside this subterranean chamber, archaeologists found a statue of the god Chakmul and a throne adorned with a jaguar's shade. But that's not all Chichen Itza had to offer. It was discovered the ancient Mayans also had a dedicated space for playing a game called Tlachtli, which bears a striking resemblance to modern-day soccer. The Tlachtli court measured a whopping 168 metres by 70 metres, with players tasked with propelling a ball through rims placed on either side of the field. The rules were brutally strict. No hands or feet were allowed, making it a physically demanding and mentally intense game that required incredible skill. Historical accounts tell of a Spaniard who watched a game that looked a lot like modern soccer, but was way more dangerous. Players kept a heavy rubber ball in the air by hitting it with their arms, hips, or thighs. The balls came in different sizes, and some were heavy enough to cause serious injuries, or even worse. The goal was to score the most points, but the game had a bigger cultural role. It was tied to Maya trade and religious traditions, used to settle disputes as a stand-in for war, and sometimes just played for fun. The stakes were very high, with winners and losers sometimes facing the ultimate consequence: ritual human sacrifice. While the game shared some similarities with soccer, players used their shoulders and elbows instead of their legs. Honestly, we can't help but wonder how the Mayans came up with this insanely dangerous game. Definitely, no aliens are involved in this one. Before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Number 6. The science behind the mysterious pyramid. The Temple of Kukulkan, or El Castillo, in Chichen Itza, is a mind-blowing structure that showcases the incredible architectural prowess of the ancient Maya civilization. This massive monument stands 100 feet tall. That's as high as a 10-story building, and is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. At the top, you'll find a sacred temple dedicated to Kukulkan, the feathered serpent deity, which symbolizes the connection between our world and the heavens. Each side of this 60,000-ton structure features steep steps that represent the 18 months and 20 days of the Maya calendar, totaling 365 steps, one for each day of the year. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the shadows create an illusion of a snake slithering down the pyramid, connecting the snake heads at the base to the Kukulkan statue at the top. At the base of El Castillo, you'll notice 4 large serpent heads carved from limestone, representing the equinox serpent, which is a symbol of the cycle of death and rebirth. These intricate details showcase the Mayas' impressive grasp of astronomy and their deep connection to celestial bodies. Number 5. How did the Maya get building materials? The ancient Maya didn't have it easy when it came to resources, but they still managed to build several incredible structures using limestone. So, how did they do it? They developed a pretty clever technique for extracting the limestone. They used sharp stone shards like chert, sometimes attaching them to wooden sticks. They gouged deep channels into the ground, creating a checkerboard pattern in the limestone rocks. By doing so, they could reach the natural break in the limestone bedrock. Once the checkerboard blocks cracked away from the ground, they used wooden levers to pry the blocks out, revealing the resourcefulness of the Maya people in constructing Chichen Itza's iconic pyramid. Maya pyramids are an architectural marvel, featuring intricately carved stone stair steps. These structures served different purposes depending on the region. In addition to their pyramids, Maya engineers also built impressive bridges, arches, and pressurized water systems, showcasing their advanced skills. Number 4. The Maya calendar. Instead of sticking to a regular 12-month calendar, the Maya had a bunch of different calendars to keep track of their lives. Meanwhile, the rest of us often rely on more than one calendar only when we can't choose between a movie night or a game night. The Maya had a 365-day calendar called the Hab, which had 18 months with 20 days each, plus a short month called Wayeb that was just 5 days long. They also used a 260-day religious calendar called the Tzolkin, made up of 20 periods of 13 days. These two calendars worked together in 52-year cycles, and a lot of important events lined up between them. But wait, there's more! They also had a third calendar called the Long Count, which tracked super long periods, about 2,880,000 days, or around 7,885 solar years. This long count calendar is where the whole doomsday prediction for 2012 came from. But the Maya didn't really buy into that. For them, 2012 was just a year when a bunch of their calendars reset, kind of like a new century in our Gregorian calendar. Number 3. Archaeological discoveries. Chichen Itza, one of Mexico's most famous archaeological sites, has revealed many fascinating discoveries about the Maya and Toltec civilizations. A recent find is an ancient cave full of artifacts, which suggests Chichen Itza was part of the Great Maya Aquifer project. In March 2019, archaeologists found a cave system called Balamku, meaning jaguar god, where they uncovered over 150 artifacts, many dedicated to the rain god Tlaloc. Balamku may have been linked to the Maya Aquifer system, which connected cities across the Yucatan Peninsula. This network of cenotes and underground caves provided water and played a key role in their religious practices. Excavations have also revealed a complex system of hieroglyphic writing. The discovery of ceramic vessels with intricate hieroglyphs has given researchers new insights into the Maya language, showing a rich culture and advanced governance. These findings continue to deepen our understanding of the Maya's sophisticated society. Number 2. Temple of the Warriors. At Chichen Itza, the Temple of the Warriors is a must-see attraction that's been restored to its original glory sometime between 1925 and 1928. Known for its detailed bas-reliefs, it features carvings of Toltec warriors, eagles, and jaguars devouring human hearts. These figures were once covered in plaster and painted in vivid colours, giving the temple a more striking appearance. The carvings also depict the god Tlalchitonatio and a reclining figure of Chak Mol. The temple consists of 4 platforms, standing about 40 feet high and 133 feet wide. 2 sides of the structure are lined with 200 columns. At the entrance, visitors encounter a large flight of stairs that leads them to Chak Mol, positioned as the guardian of the temple. Rows of warrior columns stand at the front and sides, adding to the grandeur of the architecture. The bas-reliefs, showing dramatic battle scenes, tell stories of the warrior culture that once thrived here. The Temple of the Warriors remains one of the most vital and imposing constructions in Chichen Itza, both for its impressive design and its rich symbolic history. Number 1. Fall of a civilization. Chichen Itza was abandoned by the Maya around the 15th century, and the exact reasons for this still spark debate among archaeologists. The city was rediscovered by Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century, but major archaeological digs didn't kick off until the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Most of what we know about the site has come together over the last 200 to 300 years. In 1988, Chichen Itza was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, highlighting its cultural and historical importance. That same year, the Tower of London and the ancient city of Rhodes also received this honour during UNESCO's 12th session. Which of these facts of the Chichen Itza do you find fascinating? What ancient civilization would like us to cover next? Feel free to leave your answers in the comments below. If you liked this video, then you should check out the one on your screen. This video on the dark history of Mount Rushmore will blow your mind.